So after the big like Norteño Sereno kickoff, it was probably maybe a month later, month and a half, something like that, when they were bringing all the guys back from SEG from the big fights. And I'm not going to name names, but one of the Norteños, he came walking back. He had his property in his hands, and we're looking at the day room, and he's like waiting to go on. And mind you, like everyone's like preparing for this. Like the Norteños are coming back, like, you know, they're coming back in the unit. Like it's going to be all out war. Cause at that time it was, or by that point it was all out war. It was on site. It was, you know, even the Serenos, like what they were talking about on the tiers, like they knew these dudes were coming back, and they're like all laced up, ready to go. We're bringing this dude back from SEG, and he's sitting at the door. He's got his arms full of all his belongings. He's in SEG stuff still, like the jumpsuit and the shower shoes and all this stuff. And he like looks at me. He's like, "Nations, can I ask you a favor?" And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Can I just take a second and get my shoes on?" And I remember like looking back at my sergeant, and my sergeant at the time was the head of investigations. And he was like pissed that all this was happening. He was pissed because he was like, dude, it's gonna be like a 8-on-1 right now when we take this dude out. Cause they're like, we're not gonna sell them up. We're just gonna walk them out onto the tier, put them in the cell. And I'm like, that's not gonna be good, you know?
Excellent idea.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, if they're gonna fight, then they're gonna go on lockdown. I'm like, they're gonna fight, you know? And you guys are gonna have lawsuits up to yin yang because you're walking these dudes out 1 versus 8, you know? But I looked at the sergeant, and the sergeant was like, let him kid up.
Let him,
you know, so we told
lace up his shoes,
yeah, so
tuck in his shirt.
Yeah, so Pod was like, I was like, hey, don't run the door.
He has a fighting chance.
Yeah, we're like, you know, and the dude could scrap, like he could get down. You guys would know how he was more white than anything else.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Starts with a K.
He was our head down in.
Yeah, he had the giant
Yep.
thing. Yeah. What?
Huh?
Heard you got out.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? But anyway, so he was sitting there. He's like, looks at me. He's like, Nations, can I at least put my shoes on? And so Sergeant was like, yeah, man. Like, you know, and I was like, hey, Sarge, do you care if I carry his stuff? And he even looked at me like, really? And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you out here. Like,
Just leave it outside. He's
like-
gonna come right back out.
I'm like, dude, I'll carry your stuff because I don't want to get covered, and you know, like I'll just carry it. So he's like, dude, you're a real one for that. So he laced up, and as we were about to pop the door, phone rings, and it's central control, like, hey, we're halting all movements. And I'm like, thank God,
Saved
dude.
for another day.
Yeah, and so I looked at the offender, and I was like, hey, you're not going out there. And it was kind of weird. Like he had this like look of like, thank God. But on the other side, he was like, I don't want them to think I'm a bitch or something. Like I'm the one that, you know.
He was the one that requested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll make sure, like, if anybody says anything, I'll make sure that they know that you weren't, you know, the one that called it, you know, because he was like ready to go. He was like stretching. He's like got his arm on the door, like stretching out. Just like, yeah.